Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Wayne James, and this right here is another upside down story for John Morant. As you may know, John Morant has been going through ups and downs throughout his NBA career. And I don't know how I see this fit, but this is this is crazy. And John Morant he's been out for quietly for so long with so much injuries and suspensions, and the hand gestures and yeah, but right now this is really concerned that the title speaks for itself. So as you may know, but anyways, your boy just got the desk. Shout out to my girlfriend. The desk is right behind me. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I am not opening it up. I'm just gonna do another side of video, you know what I'm saying? So I could do a full like transformation from the bedroom from where this is to not to where I'm the video where I'm gonna show you how my room is gonna look. And I idolized it. I ideal pictured it in my dream while I was sleeping. Yes, I did not write about it or I didn't know. I keep it to myself, and I picture everything out. I sculpted everything out. So I can't wait for all of the parts coming in and every single thing's coming in. So I can't wait for that. So to that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and also for a fact, I see a lot of people say, "Oh, you should be putting your emails for if you want to do some deals." So yes, your boy is gonna put his email. If you want to contact me for brand like advertising. It could be the smaller ones or the upcoming ones. I really don't care. But if you want me to promote your deal, you gotta contact me in my email down below. Everything will be down below. And that being said, let's get to it.
It has suspended Memphis Grizzlies star John Morant for 25 games due to conduct detrimental to the league.
But you can't make money on the NBA doing this stuff. First of all, you're not a thug. You're not a criminal. You're not a crook. You're a guy making $100 million a year to dribble a stupid, 200 million to dribble a stupid basketball.
Nah, Draymond Green I ain't gonna lie. Draymond Green is a snitch, yo. I ain't gonna lie. Why you telling her the refs, bro? I thought you was cool and hard, bro. You ran up to the ref and said, look, ref, look at this. Look at that, he's doing this, he's doing that. Nah, that's some straight snitch shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can't. If I was an NBA player and he did that to me, just get a little thumbs up like that. Cause I ain't gonna rat to the referees and say, oh, this nigga just put a gun gesture at me, yo.
200 million to dribble a stupid basketball. Y'all hit the lottery to do something. There's people out there working.
That's crazy. Get fined $75.
Gonna make $25,000 a year. They will kill
75K for.
You got to look in the mirror and say, yo, you know what? Maybe I'm the problem.
When looking back at the 2019 NBA draft, the top two picks being John Morant and Zion Williamson, these guys were looked at as can't-miss prospects and future pillars of the NBA for the 2020s. As someone like Zion Williamson, kind of a Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp hybrid, and John Morant, a splice of John Wall, Westbrook, and D Rose rolled into one.
Loses it, lob. Another lob, and John throws it down.
Shout out to StockX. Hey man, we're gonna take y'all down memory lane. 2003 was the year I won the championship, but I'm gonna.
It's a defense, that's what it is all about. Morant on the draw.
Yes! That's awesome!
Ja's first 3 years in the NBA, he didn't just meet expectations, he exceeded them drastically. And by his third year, was a household name mega superstar and had one of the hottest jerseys in the NBA. But looking at the past 3 years, it's in a mixed bag of injuries, off the court scandals, and just lackluster play on the court. And I don't want to say Ja peaked at 23, but right now at 25 years old, it's kind of looking like that. As back then, 27 points per game, second team All-NBA, won Most Improved Player of the Year award, and Memphis team finished second in the West with 56 wins. And looking back at that Memphis team, and one of the best young cores in the NBA that had tons of potential that rivaled OKC. As Ja back then was 22, Jaren Jackson also 22, Bane 23, Melton 23, and Dylan Brooks only 26. That Memphis team right there, they were young, hungry, had depth, and great coaching. At that very moment right there, the Memphis Grizzlies had championship potential. And if you ask any fan off the street, if that team win a championship, make a finals in the next 5 years, you'd probably say they would.
You are wrong! All of you are wrong!
This Memphis team's downfall was eerily similar to John Morant, their leader. As after one decent playoff run, one decent season, they became super cocky, overconfident, and carried themselves like multi-time champions. And of course, playing in the Western Conference, that's never a good sign.
Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're going to have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West.
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
86-55. John had it knocked loose.
People out there that say maybe you shouldn't do that with one of the better players in the game. What were you thinking?
I don't care. He's old.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
As quick as that Memphis team rose to prominence, they fell even faster and landed even harder. As right now where Memphis is stuck at is the worst place possible in sports. They're not terribly bad, tanking bad, but they're not contending for championships or West Finals. They're in that no man's land where no one wants to be in mediocrity. As right now in the West, they're the 8th seed.
I'm fine in the West.
And looking at the most standing stats for the Memphis Grizzlies, for teams above 500, very pitiful 11-23. And versus the top 2 teams in either conference, they've been
They 2-10.
Thunder, Cavs, and Celtics. They are combined 2-10. Versus the Thunder 0-4, and versus the Cavs 0-2.
I think I can smell shite.
When you're in that weird gray area of the NBA, not competing, not tanking, 2 things are bound to happen. The first one, your superstar player will ask for a trade, ask out. He'll say he's unhappy. The second thing, the coach, he'll be in the hot seat. He'll probably get the pink slip. And since Ja's not being traded, Taylor Jenkins got the boot. He was kicked out. For Taylor Jenkins, a very good head coach, to be fired with 2 weeks left in the season was definitely pretty shocking. And look, directly, indirectly, John Morant had a hand in his firing. Do I think he was unhappy, didn't like the offense? I 100% do. And even if it wasn't that direct, Ja being hurt out of the lineup so much, I mean, it cost Jenkins his job undeniably. Much like Willie Green down in New Orleans, when your best player, your marquee superstar, face of your franchise, isn't healthy, available, isn't engaged, it's hard to grade you, the coach, how good a job you're doing. And looking at Ja the past 3 years, his total games missed is 124. Games played is only 122. That quite literally is a 1-for-1. Plays this night, doesn't the next. Plays that night, not the next. I don't care if you're Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, or Eric Spoelstra. If your best player, marquee superstar, only plays half the games, you yourself as a coach, not going to be as great as you should be, and the overall team's chemistry will be firing all cylinders. Unfortunately for Taylor Jenkins in pro sports, coaches all the time get thrown on the bus, and the first ones get blamed for a team's failures. The majority of the time, it's on the players themselves and the superstars first and foremost.
That's true.
Now, when discussing John Morant's decline, this guy back in 2022, 2023, I mean, the hottest thing going in sports, the Nike contracts, the jersey sales, the social media impact. John back then could not be touched. He was being called Iverson 2.0 and better than D Rose in 2011. That's how insane it was, how much hype he had at that moment in time. But of course, 3 years later, not so much Allen Iverson, but more so Steve Francis with a Nike contract. As looking at his careers,
he see his face like, yo, what the heck? Is that risky?
His draft pick, number 2. John 2019, number 2. Their first years in the NBA, both these guys, rookie of the year. Second year in the NBA, 19 points per game. Third year, first time All-Star.
Damn, they say he compared to Steve Francis. Oh, nah.
Fourth year.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Steve Francis is tough, though.
Then their 5th, 6th years, things start veering off course, injuries, off-the-court problems, and everything in between. And for someone like Francis, he was so unlucky, so injury-plagued, his career was done by 30, he was out of the NBA. For John Morant, I hope the best for him, but the Steve Francis career path looks pretty similar. And we're not even 26 years old yet. You've missed so many games, so much time, knick-knack injuries, elbows, fingers, ankles, everything in between. when you have those injuries prior to turning 30,
I'm gonna say it like this: if it wasn't for all these accusations that all the what's on off the camera, like was on the Instagram, like where he pulled something out of, he pulled his muscatools on Instagram Live and got to the center of the NBA. If it wasn't for all the injuries, I feel like John Morant would be in the number, like a better role than where he is now. But like I said, man, that is crazy as bro. I ain't gonna lie though.
Very, very quickly. Right now, John Morant should be his physical apex, his peak as a player.
He still got it though.
Instead, he's injured, missing half the games, and not reliable for his team on a nightly basis. And one last thing I do want to do, looking at a player comparison, here's John Morant versus SGA back in 2022. These two guys as players back then, I mean, pretty much neck and neck. And if you
24.5.
hardcore fan,
He's 5. Oh wow.
John at that point was a better overall player with a higher ceiling. And looking at ESPN's top 100 rankings, John Morant was 9th place, the second best point guard. SGA was barely top 50.
Damn.
We live in a world full of media streams.
I mean, what do you think? He's not there yet.
The script has kind of flipped. As SGA right now, I'm going to say top 10 player, but a top 5 player.
Wow.
John Morant, what is he? Top 30, top 25. One guy in Memphis is barely the 8th seed, misses half of his team's games. The other guy in OKC plays nearly every game, leads the NBA in scoring, is on his way to his first MVP and possibly his first championship. For two guys who were kind of neck and neck 3 years ago, to be so far apart nowadays is downright staggering. And the sad thing for John Morant, the only person he can blame is himself. After one half-decent playoff run, one great season, this guy got cocky, overconfident, arrogant, thought he was on top of the world. In 2.5 years' time, snap your fingers, it's over, Memphis is down, and a title contender was finals contender, not a contender for anything. Oklahoma City stayed the path, had no drama, and of course, going to be competing for championships for the near future.
Damn.
Like I said earlier, John Morant, he's not a what-if. He's almost a could-have-been, but more so a, I expected more. When I think of John Morant, I don't think Iverson, Westbrook, even John Wall. What I think is Steve Francis, a guy who clawed his way in the NBA as a top-tier pick, had tons of hype potential, reached that potential, and since that point, have done nothing of note. So that right there is the end of the video. And the last thing I'll say about the NBA, I mean, it is a business and entertainment league that wants superstars, marquee players. If you're a big-time player, put up great numbers, you play games, you're going to get press attention and get pushed by the NBA. You don't play games, aren't healthy, have some scandals, they're going to withdraw their support and push you to the side. For John Morant and Zion Williamson, that's kind of already happened, and it's a sad thing. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
That's a good video, man. Yeah, hope he stays out. I hope he stays good and healthy and clean. Don't do no. Stop being that what he portrayed that he was. He would have been in a different. He would have been in a different conversation. But he still got it. He still could hang. You know.